psychology. Psychology is all about people, and that's what we study. There are various ways you can look at people's behaviour. We can look at it through their social behaviour, through their biology, through their thought processes, and other ways like psychodynamic ways of looking at behaviour. I'll just take you through a few of them because it's all going to be new stuff to you. Okay, so social psychology, first of all, is something you'd study in the first year. This is about how other people affect your behaviour. So this could be about conformity or maybe obedience and how we obey the social norms that we are born into. One of the things people might think psychology is about mental illness. So the term for that is psychopathology. Psychopathology is the study of different mental disorders. The ones we study in the first year are phobias, obsessive compulsive disorder, and depression. In the second year we study schizophrenia and look at that in quite a lot of detail. Another study that we do, another topic that we do is attachment. In attachment you learn about how when you're small, what happens to you, how that will affect you as an adult. So particularly we look at attachment between infants and their primary caregivers. And what we found is there seems to be a link, connection between your early childhood and your later ability to have relationships yourself. So this is a topic quite a lot of people enjoy. The other first year topic is memory. You might take this for granted, but memory is the core of who we are. Without our memories, we're not really people. So we look at how memories form and look at different models to explain how memory becomes permanent in our minds. We also look at forgetting, and particularly at eyewitnesses and how they can forget important things in criminal investigations. Right. A very big part of psychology is biopsychology. It's 25% of the whole A level. So if you like your sciences, and in particular if you like biology, you'll get on very well with psychology. We look at the brain, we look at it as a structure, but also we look at it in a microscopic detail. So we look at the neurons, the way the neurons communicate and how that affects our behaviour. The different structures of the brain, how they interconnect, how they work with each other, and how important your genes are to your behaviour. As I just mentioned, there's a lot of biology, and psychology is a science. So if you do a degree in psychology, you'll be getting a BSc or a Master's in Science. People tend to think it's all about personality and how we work, but it's actually quite scientific in that it's based on research methods. And research methods, carrying out experiments, doing your own observations, maybe doing some questionnaires, looking at behaviours, interpreting data, that's all part of psychology. So that analytical mind is useful if you're going to come and do this subject. Psychology A level, as you'll see, is made up of 3 papers. Okay, these are all equally weighted, except for paper 2. You'll notice that's got a large chunk on research methods. That's half of the marks on that paper. That's why I've emphasised how important it is that you can interpret data, you can make conclusions and inferences from what you've got in front of you. And also you can look at all of the research that's been done in psychology and critique it, because half of your marks also are evaluating what you learn. There are lots of different careers in psychology. So if you were to do a degree in psychology, you could then go on to specialise. People think of clinical psychology, where you might work with children or older people, or you might even work with the elderly. There's also health psychology, which is a really important area where we try and influence society in the way they eat, look at things like addiction and how to solve those kind of problems. Forensic psychology is always popular, which is how psychology can help the police and also how they can help prisoners. That's often overlooked because it's important to see how people can help those who've committed crimes to rehabilitate, and psychologists are very important there. Educational psychology is another field where you help people who are having problems in school, and sometimes it could be dyslexia, but it could be emotional problems or autism, so those kind of areas of specialism. Okay. The skills you'll need, okay, a good analytical mind, an ability to write clearly, an ability to be critical and not to take things at face value. One of the mottos of the Royal Society is nullius in verba, which means don't take anything on face value, don't believe what you hear, and we're very much into that in psychology. Everything we teach you, we ask you to critically evaluate that. So those kind of skills are going to be useful whatever you do at university and whatever you do in life. Just to finish off, there's a few comments here from the students about what they think of psychology. Our current upper six and lower six have contributed to this, and I'll let you read them yourself. Okay, thank you very much.